everyone, and welcome to today's video, which is going to be my first book talk in a while. And, excuse what's going on here. Uh, I'm recording this on Halloween. I just got back from work. This is how I was at work, because I didn't really have a costume, but my manager wanted us to sort of dress up, so I went with this whole thing. It's supposed to be like a witchy vibe with all the purple, my purple hair. I have spiderweb eyeliner, and then I've got this um, turned over crescent moon with a sort of a star and a bunch of dots on the outside. It is what it is. This was my attempt because I've neither had time nor just money to make my own costume, so this is what I had in the house. This is just what I had on hand to be able to do. So, forgive the look, since this is going up on the 3rd, which will be 3 days after Halloween, but you know what? It's fine. Anyways, so I read this like 2 months ago. I don't remember a whole lot, but I'm sure as I start talking about it, I'll remember things. I do remember some, specifically around certain characters, and because I'm just going to get very warm with that on, we're going to take it off. Okay, so let's just talk about this book. Now, this is a very popular book right now. I bought it because I like the concept of dragons. Now, this is Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros, and this is a new adult book. It's not young adult, it is new adult, because it's got the young adult appeal, but there's some more mature sequences in this book. So, just a warning to anyone who watches this video and hasn't read the book. This does have some more adult scenes in it. Scenes that I personally don't care for, which is why I read young adult. But you know what? I skipped right past those scenes, and it did not matter to me. So, and for anyone wondering why I don't care about those, I've only mentioned this like once or twice in a few other videos before. I am ace. I am fairly on the sex repulse side of being asexual. So I can handle some of it, but when things get a bit too graphic is when I'm just like, all right, skip. Where do things continue? And so I find that it's just not important. So, you know, that's why I ended up skipping those pages that are in here. Now, for anyone who's like, oh, but then you can't enjoy the story, it's still enjoyable. So yeah, let's just talk about this. Honestly, good book, surprising book. I will buy the second book when it comes out. I think it comes out sometime in November, and so I will buy it when I can. But honestly, good book. Last dragon book I read was, where is it? Was this, of which we're likely never gonna get a sequel. So, this is my new dragon book that I'm loving. Honestly, what I find refreshing about this book, there are some things that I find refreshing about this book, and that is the fact that in a lot of books with dragons, the dragons aren't seen as that much of a danger. especially to the dragon riders and such. But in this book, people are killed by dragons so many times, even though they are dragon riders. Every dragon is dangerous, very dangerous, except for one, because they don't have anything. They got paws and no teeth, no fire. Like I forget what their name is. Well, anyways, so dragons, good, awesome. I love that aspect of the book. And you know what? You got your horny characters, because everyone's in that age where they're gonna be very horny, because not everyone's like me. And it's honestly pretty standard, with how the world is built. And spoiler alert for the very end, finding out that, what's her name? Violet. I should remember this because I remember the violence part. Violet thought her brother was dead, finding out he was alive. Kind of actually typical. Because in how many books is the brother that's thought to be dead actually dead? Give me one. Give me one where you think they are actually dead. Because frankly, with Red Queen, yes, I'm bringing out my collector's edition, Red Queen, we find out that he's not dead. With our so beloved City of Bones, well, Mortal Instruments, we find out that Clary's brother isn't dead. What other books where the brother is dead, but not actually? You know, this isn't a very common trope, actually. I thought it was more common, but I can't pinpoint another book. But you know what? When the trope does come up, the brother is never dead. They aren't. They just aren't. Like, that's... Of course, I will give Red Queen credit because they ended up killing him anyways. I know that much. But, yeah, so I wasn't really surprised at that reveal, because I knew there had to be more to what was going on. Now, speaking of which, we're going to talk a little about Xaden, because, damn, his character is so good. And, like, this book is obviously enemies to lovers. He starts out hating Violet, but then they grow to care for each other. It is mostly lust in the beginning, but as they are forced to be around each other because their dragons are bonded for life, which means they can't be very far from each other because their dragons can't be very far from each other, because you know how that logic works. It kind of forces them to spend time together, and you know what? Xaden ends up caring for Violet in the end, and it's beautiful and awesome and great. And Violet obviously ends up caring for him as well. Now, there is something I'm kind of mad about with this, and that is the fact that Violet doesn't seem to understand where Xaden is coming from. She doesn't seem to understand that what Xaden is doing is helping people that do actually need help. Because these people that are outside of these protective barriers are being absolutely murdered by these things that I forget the name of. Don't forget, it's been 2 months since I read this. But there's these things that were thought to be mythical, and turns out they're not. They're in no way mythical at all. And like Violet just learns this, and then she has to go fight against these things. And so she's mad at Satan because he's been supplying them with weapons and other things to help these people that are that Violet sees as enemies. He's been helping them to be able to fight their actual enemy. And Xaden, well, Violet just doesn't seem to understand that it's necessary and that you shouldn't just abandon these people. And like, yeah, she fights alongside these people, and you know, and these people on the other side, they fight, and they are like, I think it's Griffin Riders. I think it's Griffins. But they ride Griffins instead of dragons. But it's really hard to defeat these things, and you know, our good young Violet, she does take on fighting these things. She almost dies in the process, but I'm just remembering that scene. Oh. And she almost dies in the process. Of course, Xaden isn't gonna let that happen. So he takes her to her brother, who she thinks is dead, but is an amazing healer. So, now let's just get things going this way. I'm frustrated that she seems to not be able to forgive Xaden for the deceptions. And you know what? I get it, somewhat. I get he lied. He hid the truth. And I'm just going to bring this closer. So I get he lied and hid the truth, and that she wants him to be completely, totally, 100% honest. But under the circumstances, is that really something she needed? Is it really? Like, just forgive him. If she does not forgive him in the second book, which I am definitely going to read, even though there's probably going to be more explicit scenes of which I will skip by, it's, like, okay. Like, if she doesn't forgive him, I'm probably gonna end up throwing that book across the room, so, yeah. Anyways, anything else I want to talk about with this book? I did like Rhiannon's character. Oh, Liam! Oh, Liam! Liam died, didn't he? He's the one that died, that I almost cried with. Now, I don't cry often with books. In fact, the last book to make me ugly cry was, in fact, this one, Night of the Dragon, which we're not gonna talk about. You can go see my videos on that for my actual thoughts on it and how vigorously I cried. I love Liam. I love Liam with everything, and his death felt unfair. Because in this world, a dragon rider cannot live without their dragon. The dragon can live without their dragon rider, but the other way around doesn't work. And it was just so unfair to Liam, because it was Liam's dragon that died. Liam would have survived if he wasn't bonded to this dragon. And like, I get it. Being a dragon rider comes with this risk. He knew that this was risky. But, oh my god, Xaden's reaction to it. Uh, it's so upsetting. I loved Liam as a character, so I wish he hadn't died. I really wish he hadn't, because that just, I felt cheated for him. Alright, there's one last thing I want to talk about, which is Violet's mother and sister, sort of. Um, sister is, sister's kind of like an actually supportive sister, um, and stuff. Violet's mother, though, honestly, she's a bitch. She is a flat out bitch. She does not deserve children. Personally, I think that. Unless she somehow redeems herself, which I don't think is going to be possible in my mind, uh, she can go burn in hell because of all of the things. She literally endangers Violet, because Violet has a fairly weak body. I'm thinking she has some, what is it called? I don't know. I'm not going to search it up right now. Probably will search it up when I am editing. So editing me, that's the condition that I'm thinking of. But like, she's got this condition where she is just weak, and she somehow makes it. I don't know how, but she makes it, and it's real shocking as to how she makes it. But you know what? I don't know. The plot armor. um, but like, she puts Violet through absolute hell for her own. I'm gonna say for her own gain, because I feel like it is for her own gain. Because she was going to become like a scribe, I think it is. Uh, she was going to be a scribe, and she was going to live the life her father had, which was nice, chill, just recording books, recording things down, and putting, and like being in a library basically all the time. You know, when I live here. But nah, her mother ripped that away from her, threatened her if she ever did anything else. Her mother can go die in a hole, and I would not care. Violet might care, because she actually might care about her mother, but I don't. So, sorry, Violet, but I would personally kill your mother if I could, but I can't. So, yes, we're done with this video. Again, sorry for the distraction that is this. My face is just gonna end up being very red once I take this off. So I wanted to get this video recorded first so that I can start editing it and have it out by Friday. Anyways, first book talk in a long time. I'm sorry, guys. And I hope you all enjoyed. If you like this book, let me know. I would love to discuss it further down below. I am doing something before I end this video. I am going to be going through some books that I have read before, but I don't have videos on, because at the time I was not recording videos. So the first set is going to be the Renegades series I have up here. Let's move the camera slightly. So up here we're going to do the Renegades. I have only read the first two. I have not read the last one, so I'm going to be going through Renegades now. And then we'll and then I'll make a video on it, and then we'll do Arch Enemies, and I'll make a video on it, and then we'll do Supernova, and now it's going to be a completely blind. I'm going to be honest, I remember next to nothing. I don't even remember Nova's powers. I remember Adrian? Is it Adrian? I'm literally in like chapter 2 according to Audible because I was listening to it while I straightened my hair. And so I haven't met them yet. Met the other characters yet. It's just been Nova. Nova Central. Those are going to be the next things that come out in regards to books, book reviews, book talks. And next week we're gonna have a writing vlog because boy howdy do I have a lot to say. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And if you want to see more content from me, hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell so you get notified when I post a new video, since my schedule did recently change. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye!